Hi guys, I'm Andy Mullings. I work for Bachmann, Data Center Solutions Manager. I'm going to talk about how do we power your data centers. We've been talking about immersion power. So the one big thing as well, we talk about immersion power, we talk about high density, performance, we look at how the servers work, how powerful they are, how powerful the data center is, how many megawatts it is. But the one thing we forget about is the power. So what I'm going to briefly do is kind of talk about rack power and the different types. There's basic power. So there's two types of basic power. There's your dumb basic product, just has standard UK 3-pin sockets or C13, C19 sockets. This allows you to power your equipment, but you've got no control over how much energy is being used. We also have the local meter PDU. So again, it has a local display on there. It shows you what your energy usage is. It's a bit like your electricity meter, but again, you can't control it, you can't manage it. There's 4 types of intelligent PDU. There's input metered or overall metered. There is there's outlet metered, there's switched outlets, and there's also switched and metered per outlet PDU. So input metered. So what this does, this allows you to measure the overall usage on the PDU. So again, with this, you can then remotely manage, you can control this through your network, through any DSIM or BMS platform, however you're wanting to manage it. We also have outlet metered as well. So again, the likes of banking industry, they don't want to turn anything on and off, but they want to know what's going on in each individual outlet. So again, with outlet metered, they can give you that monitoring. And then we've got switched outlets. So with switched outlets PDUs, this allows you to switch individual outlets on and off. It allows you to measure the overall usage of the PDU and also give you granular detail of what's actually going on. So you can measure current, voltage, kilowatt hours. You can measure everything within the PDU. And they're switched and metered per outlet PDUs. This measures individual outlets. It also allows you to switch individual outlets at the same time. So this gives you a full control of what's going on with the PDU. So with this, one of the big things, especially in the data center, we need control. In immersion, we need control as well. But one of the things we've noticed over the last few years, we're talking about how many kilowatts we're now actually using in the data center. So traditionally, with 3 to 5 kilowatts. And this has been like the norm for many, many years. So again, you'll have a full 42U rack, and all you'll have is very, very low power usage. Over the last few years, that's actually risen up to about 8 kilowatts per rack. But then, with the invention of AI, HPC compute, we've noticed this has started to rise rapidly. With HPC AI, this is also now starting to push the boundaries when it comes to power usage. A lot of the hyperscalers now, they're wanting more power. They're wanting to push the boundaries of what rack power can do. And like we were talking earlier, AI now is really wanting to push the boundaries. So we're getting up to 35, 50 kilowatts. And in some cases, we're now starting to rise up to requirements of 80 kilowatts per per rack. Now, the big problem we find with this is we can't do this with air anymore. We can put rear door coolers on there, but that's only going to take you to a certain level. So what we now need to do is look at how we can push those boundaries further. And what we really need to do is basically look at the immersion cooling market. So what we've done is look at new solutions. We need a flexible solution. We need something that can actually give you full access to all the information and keep things monitored, powered, and also be flexible, because the one big thing as well, the industry is moving fast. Sockets, outlets, they're all changing constantly. So we need a new solution. So what we've launched at Bachmann 2 years ago was the UPDU, the Universal PDU. It's modular, it's intelligent, and it's upgradable as well. So one of the things we looked at is we need to invest for the future. The industry is moving, so we designed a PDU that can be moved with the industry as well. So again, we also designed it for the EU right to repair. So average life of a PDU is 5 to 7 years. After that, you normally got to take it out, got to replace it with new equipment as the IT equipment improves. What we've done with this is we can actually replace every single part of the PDU from the front face and allow you to have full access and control of the product. So again, as time moves on, Intel design new equipment. I was just chatting to Steve earlier. They're now looking for C20 sockets, C21 sockets on the PDU. We can design this, so we can actually change out certain parts of the PDU. What we can do here is it comes with 4 building blocks within the PDU. So there's the power inlet, there's the breaker module, there's the network card, and there's also the outlets. But this is a really unique solution because there's nothing like it in the market, and we've also patented it, that you can actually replace every single part from the front face. So you don't have to take equipment out, you don't have to have full downtime, you can actually do this whilst you're at the rack or whilst you're at the bath as well. So we've done a lot of work and design to make something very, very flexible and also future-proofed. One of the big things as well is the network card. So we've got hot swap network cards on intelligent PDUs already, they're out there in the market. But what we've also done, we built a PoE switch into it. We've got 2 gigabit ports on there as well. Now that's really unique because with the 2 gigabit ports, you can also have Carbon Z logging into the PDU, and also the client can also log into the PDU, but the two will never meet. So again, it gives the client and also gives the data center operator the opportunity to log in and do any moves, any changes, and monitor everything. Another key thing about this as well, it will give you accuracy of 0.5%. So it's the most accurate PDU in the market. So again, when it comes to measuring your PUE, measuring your reporting, you're actually seeing a genuine figure of what's actually being used. So what we've done with this as well, we also done something very, very unique with this PDU. So as I said, you can change all the parts on the PDU, but we've also designed it so instead of having various different PDUs and you've got to keep changing products out, with this, you can upgrade 2 types of product. So you can have module metered and you can have module switched. But what's unique, you can also then, with a 1 network key, you can upgrade both types of PDUs to outlet metered and also switched and metered per outlet as well. But not just the whole PDU. If you just want to upgrade 8 outlets, for example, you can do that. So again, you can make it very, very modular and very, very flexible. It's the only PDU now there that can give you that flexibility of having 2 different types of product in the 1 physical unit. And also as well, when you're logging into the PDU and you're in front of it and you want to check what's going on, you want to look at the network card and see the display, there's also a button on there as well. So instead of scrolling through 30 odd outlets, you can also then just press 1 button and it will then highlight straight away what's actually on the network card. Again, design as well, very simple, traffic light symbol, red off, green on, yellow, there's an alert, there's an alarm that's been triggered. And like I said, it has a built-in PUE switch on there as well. So again, it allows you lots of different connectivity solutions, star topology, daisy chain, ring topology. So it gives you a lot of flexibility through the whole PDU. I mean, again, a lot of systems, if PDU number 2 goes down, you've lost the complete chain of network connectivity with all your PDUs. This way, you're only losing the 1 network card. You're not losing everything. Again, we've also made the display as well. So when you're logging in, it's very easy on the eye. So we're not making it dark, complicated. It's very, very easy. A good example is Red Bull Racing use this PDU for their infrastructure. And again, if I use their engineers, what they liked about it was easy access, quick changes available, very much like their pit their pit crew. You know, they want to do move changes quickly. They want to visualize things quickly, and this is how they do that themselves. So again, we've also then got pushed into, we need high power PDUs. So we had a project with Submarine with Castrol when they're making their new pod in Pangbourne. And we said, right, so you've got a 50 kilowatt bath, we need to give you 50 kilowatts of power. We don't have a 50 kilowatt PDU. Now, if we go with a traditional 32 amp, 3-phase PDU, you're going to get 23 kilowatts. But we know when they're going to testing, they're going to push that to 25 kilowatts. They're going to push that, 50 kilowatts. They're going to push that to the max. So what we had to do was design a PDU that can push that boundary further. So what we've come up with is using the same technology, but making a 27 kilowatt PDU. Also then, at the same time, giving them headroom as well, knowing that if they're pushing that to the max, we're not going to push the PDU over the edge and we're not going to have equipment breaking down. So again, what is unique is actually giving that flexibility, and also they got a product that can last them a good 20 years, where instead of them looking at 7 years, they're looking at a good 20 years of lifespan with it. So the next question, we're looking at more powerful equipment. So it's Data Center World next week. I thought I'd show this slide now. Basically, we will be launching the 55 kilowatt PDU. Got the same technology, same solution all the way through. Again, this is allowing you then to really push the boundaries. So again, if we're looking at 100 kilowatt bars, 200 kilowatt bars, we've got a solution that can actually give you that product. Again, what we have done, so we've kept the physical PDU style, but instead of making it longer with more breakers, we're actually then putting the breaker on top of every single block of outlets. So you can actually physically see what breaker is connected to what outlets. Because a lot of the time you'll have all the breakers down one end, outlets on the other side, and you can't work out which one's which very easily. So this gives you a good visual clue what's going on. It also reduces the length of the physical PDU. So it will fit in any rack. It'll also fit in any bath as well. And we've been working with some of the bath manufacturers to make sure that PDU will actually fit in 99.9% of all the baths that we've actually all bath manufacturers we're working with. And again, we've also just recently done a 66 kilowatt PDU with a certain company that starts with the letter N, if you can see the logo in the bottom left-hand corner. They're not going heavily into immersion on this scenario, but we've actually done 66 kilowatt PDUs, 100 amps, 54 C19s, and actually still then keeping it in a 52U footprint as well. So that kind of just gives you a good overview of what we can now offer. Again, with this solution, we can also immerse this into the liquid as well. So we know it'll work in various different fluid manufacturers. We know it works with Castrol. We've actually got Castrol fluid in our showroom where we're actually doing live testing and playing with the product as well. And finally as well, we've also got the immersion power cords as well. So again, these will also plug into the PDU. They'll also lock onto the equipment, but also lock onto the PDU at the same time. So they'll actually sit in the liquid, and we're not going to have the issue with any cables going hard, expanding, breaking, splitting. So this gives you a lot of flexibility going forward.